Buonasera a tutti, sono Francesco Minetti, presidente del SIGA Esperti Matelica, organizzatore di incontrati amici di Partagas. Il mondo Instagram mi conosce come Ombra Minetti. Siamo qui con i 5 maggiori esperti di Instagram per presentare questa degustazione in anteprima internazionale con la giada Ramon Allones Noellas che abbiamo presentato 2 anni fa a Matelica durante la sera di gara dell'incontro amigos de Partagas. Io vi do la bienvenida, buen trabajo e seguimos in combate, come diceva Cuna.
Grazie Francesco.
Grazie.
Hello everyone, ciao a tutti e benvenuti. Come avevamo promesso, oggi siamo partiti con una live in streaming, seguendo la prima esperienza dell'anno scorso con alcuni amici. Oggi siamo qui con i più noti esperti e influencer di Instagram. Partiamo da Jasim. Hello there.
So it's an honor to be here again in the wonderful world of Italy. Ravenna, Matelica, beautiful place. So this is the second day of the program of Amigos di Partagas Italia, and I'm so grateful to be part of this panel with La Station team, who won the World Championship of Habanos World Challenge. And including the judge today, we have Alexandre, who was part of the judge. So you guys hang out a lot. Yeah, so the Italian family, and there you go. So
but after.
Only after. He did not know who they were. He did not know. He did not know who they were. Just now they got connected. Anyway, so here we go. We are in the tasting panels of this beautiful cigar. Wait for what's coming. So, our pleasure.
Thank you Jasim. Giulio, lo conoscete tutti, il mio compagno di squadra.
I'm very happy to stay here. It's a big honor for us to stay here. Team La Session, welcome all our guests and we will smoke a very good cigar.
Grazie Giulio. E qui abbiamo un nostro amico nonché giudice della giuria che ci ha permesso di vincere, Alexandre.
Great friend.
Yeah. Especially after. Alexandre che è qui con noi, diamo il benvenuto.
It's a pleasure to be back here. It was always an interesting experience to have a cigar with friends, especially this big event of the Friends of Partagas here in Matelica. This event has two very important points to me, because first one was the first time that I was in Italy was to attend this event in 2022. And the second one, because I attend most of the Friends of Partagas in Cuba, so to be in Italy, it's always a pleasure.
Fantastic, thank you Alexander. And finally, the least but not the last but not the least, Armando, conosciuto su Instagram come Armando Cigar, che è un nostro amico, anche lui un esperto, un influencer, che è venuto per trovarci, è la primera vez?
La primera vez.
E un saluto a todos los amigos.
To all of you, thank you for giving the opportunity to be here, por darme la oportunidad de estar aquí. Y for all the followers that is also following all the events of Matelica, Amigos de Partagas, for me is an honor, and also try this regional edition. It's my first time, I have to say, so I'm very happy to be here for all of that, and also with all this group of amazing connoisseurs of cigars and habanos, and for me it's an honor, also a big family and big friends.
Thank you Armando. Well, è molto importante ricordare che a questo tavolo e poco fa avevamo 3 ombre habanos, 2 sono seduti qui ai nostri lati e uno appunto era Francesco Minetti, quindi un'alta concentrazione di esperti. Noi ci siamo un po' imbucati in questa situazione.
So Alexandre, you have been translating all day.
Yeah.
I believe that you're going to
I believe he's going to put subtitles when they
okay,
yeah.
So you don't have to worry about this, what these guys just say.
Yeah.
Without further ado, so here is the wonderful question. So I think that all the viewers, they understand that where we are, and because they are following for the last few days. The exceptional part here is to know that what are we smoking? What is the speciality of this product, and what did you bring to us being here in Italy as an hospitality? You can say that?
Yeah, hospitality guest. Yeah,
yes, perfect. So let's see what they have brought in order for us to let me change the camera to this.
Something of Italian.
Oggi fumeremo con i nostri amici l'ultima edizione regionale rilasciata in Italia. Parliamo del Noellas di Ramon Allones, rilasciato nel 2022. Oggi fumeremo questo splendido sigaro. Il perché stiamo fumando questo sigaro non ve lo possiamo anticipare. Questa sera probabilmente dai profili dei nostri amici partirà qualcosa, qualche novità, quindi una preview. So I say that why we are smoking this Italian regional edition, we can say, but probably tonight we will show something very
linked to
interesting.
regional edition.
Maybe.
I think you guys already know something.
No.
We are completely ignorant about everything
We heard you and we believe you.
in our life, and especially cigars.
Yeah. So please, Armando,
First,
take your cigar.
Wow.
thank you.
Thank you.
Grazie mille.
Okay.
Jasim,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
try this
Yeah.
because every jar you take, you have one unicorn inside,
Yeah.
which is covered in a beautiful wax paper, like how it has been in boxes of cigars, where it's covered. And always this is special. I feel it that way. Thank you for leaving me this piece so that I can enjoy the rest. So how is it? So
You're
tell us
welcome.
a little bit about it because.
About the paper on it.
No, I mean this product has been released as a part of 2020 plan on written edition, and but then this has come to the market in 2022. Being
Yeah,
part
exactly,
is a part,
exactly.
Part of the at the time that all the products did not come on time.
Yeah.
So you received these boxes from 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So the box code is 22.
it's March, I believe, no?
Yeah, March 22. As Jasim said, come ha detto Jasim, come spesso succedeva soprattutto nel periodo Covid, diciamo 2020, quando è stata presentata questa edizione regionale, appunto nel 2020, ci ha messo un po' a arrivare da noi. Nel mercato italiano è arrivata proprio nel 2022, proprio qui a Matelica abbiamo presentato questa edizione regionale. Quindi questa è ufficialmente l'ultima delle 12 edizioni regionali italiane che dal 2005 ci fanno compagnia. Just a little curiosity about the paper on the cigar, just in the middle of every jar. Simply because it's the easy way to pull over the
You
cigar.
pull one piece,
Yeah.
and then after that you enjoy the rest of it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're going to break the wrapper by touching each other.
Yeah.
So that's why this is very special.
So very
Unfortunately,
but
there's
it is-
only one.
Yeah, only one.
This is the last one they put,
Yeah.
in the factory, or the first one.
Mm.
This is the last one.
And this is the regional edition number 12. And it is a Ramon Allones, is the second Ramon Allones regional edition, and the first one was Ramon Allones also, because it was
Selezione Suprema.
Selezione Suprema. So
Bene, we can start with the cut.
We
We
can
can
start
light
with the cut and the light.
We speak about the cigar, maybe we
Let's
just,
all do the ritual and
Yeah.
the cutting and the lighting part. So you did not explain about the size of this cigar. It's,
Yeah.
it's different
because it's
than.
very strange. This.
The box of this cigar comes in the jar, right? So because we call it the Noellas,
Yeah.
and this is different than the usual Noellas.
Yeah.
Because the usual Noellas, which is from Cuba, which comes in a different size,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Exactly.
this is
A bit longer,
a bit longer.
3 millimeters.
So this is a very different size,
Yeah.
very unique, very special.
Yeah.
Not many sizes which is in the Habanos portfolio at the moment. I think it's only 1 or 2, and exceptional size.
Yeah.
So Italians love thinner ring gauge at this moment. I believe that you have Superfinos, you have so many other selections which is being thinner ring sizes.
Yeah.
And this is the time that it came out exactly on the same as the 42.
Come ha detto Jasim perfettamente, questo sigaro, che è uscito sul mercato con il nome di Noellas, come sanno gli esperti, in questo caso il nome rappresenta la vitola de salida, cioè il nome commerciale, ma la sua vitola, cioè le misure di questo sigaro invece sono eminentes, quindi le misure sono 42 64esimi di pollici di diametro per 132 mm. Differente invece il Noellas, che ad esempio è uscito con ACU, ma sempre su una giara di vetro, un'edizione che ogni tanto compare nelle nostre amate tabaccherie, che è più lungo di 3 mm, quindi sempre 42 ma per 135 ed è un Cosacos.
Un Cosacos.
Ok?
Esattamente. So diadema save 3 mm, the 3 mm there, 3 mm here. It's not the same.
Sì,
No?
yeah. Sì, molto pratico questo tipo di valutazioni. Ok, let's start. My friend here already started. I'm going to use the lighter of Encuentro Amigos Partagas in Italia.
I'm using the lighter that we received in the Galatina this year, the Trinidad celebrating 55 years, so it's very important as well to mention the anniversary of the Trinidad that celebrated the 55 years, and we went to London, was there with my friend Jasim, and we had the opportunity to be in a beautiful party promoting the 55 years of this beautiful brand. So let's come back to Allones and this regional edition. I would like to tell, I was telling about this, it's been a special occasion to be in Italy and the connection that I have with this event. And we are having another connection with the event here, because the first time I attended the Friends of Partagas in Italy was in 2022, and in the Galatina was exactly the first, the premiere of this new release in the Armando's, especially in the Italian regional edition portfolio, and it was fantastic. So bringing me good memories of the first meeting of Friends of Partagas I participated.
Yes,
Everything is linked.
Remember, Alexandre, that we love a lot the brand Trinidad because we won the Van Challenge. It was the 50th anniversary.
Yes.
Trinidad brand. So,
Yes.
50.
Everything is connected.
Yeah, like yesterday with a ticket, with like a ticket.
What was your pairing in your initial test?
We bring with us
In
the
Allones.
Rey Mundo Choix Supreme with a special wine from Italy.
Yeah.
We call the Passito. Passito del Caluso is a white wine, very.
It's normally a decent wine. It's
Yeah.
a little sweet, but not so sweet.
Okay.
And,
But they have in common some taste of nuts.
You can say it's connected to any particular speciality of Italian wines, a region or a particular grape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a late harvest of this kind of grape. So and they produce this typical wine for dessert. But speaking about the cigar, as Armando, come ha detto Armando poco fa, questa è la prima volta che prova questo sigaro. So it's the first time for you, Armando. You can speak in Spanish, of course, or in English.
Yeah, I can.
So, what's your first impression of this cigar?
Pues a las primeras bocadas del habano son frescas, podemos decir, o sea, no tengo pimienta, pero tengo un carácter de ligero que va a evolucionar. O sea, the first draw for me are very light, not so strong, so it's very light, but without any kind of pepper at the beginning. But I know that will be in the back something that will be hit later on the smoke, because it's a medium-sized cigars, como es formato de medio, o sea, en lo que es el grosor del habano, y además del tamaño que tiene, 132 milímetros de largo, pues es una fumada de unos 45 minutos aproximadamente, que te puede funcionar tanto para la mañana como para la tarde. O sea, es algo agradable. Me gusta mucho también la anilla, porque a mí me preguntan mucho cuando son este tipo de anillas. So the label is so different. So from the, it's like a vintage label, right, as you see here. So a lot of the people in my community ask me about this kind of labels that is different from the regulars. Do you have something to say about it? Why the Diadema use these kind of labels, vintage for?
But Diadema in general, we can say that Diadema already did something about Anilla. If you remember with
I think the first bunch Diademas, I think, was the first one, right?
Yeah.
They use
Use the vintage.
Yeah.
yes.
And so it's a part of the work that Diadema, because you know that the collectors love this kind
It's about
of
nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia. E quindi, come diceva Armando, questa aniglia particolare non è proprio la stessa aniglia che c'è nei Allones, diciamo in produzione regolare, ma a differenza della linea classica è stata utilizzata un'aniglia vintage, quindi hanno rievocato un'aniglia antica. Diadema non è nuova a questo tipo di esperienza perché come ha fatto con la Edizione, dal quale prendiamo noi il nome,
Not only the aniglia, but also a brand.
in quel caso lì è stato rievocato dal passato non solo un'aniglia ma anche una marca, quindi proprio l'Edizione, con 2 sigari, quindi Selecto Spino e il Dono 6, che tra l'altro dovrebbe essere uno
And
dei...
this is why we are the team La Exception. When we were in La Habana to do the Havana World Challenge, we choose the name Team La Exception.
Armando, with Giulio, like 2 years ago, we already smoked as a preview this cigar. And the final impression of the cigar, so we say at the end of the cigar is so good, but sadly it stopped. When it's growing better and better. So.
When it's getting better, maybe it would be, for me, for example, I have a question also from my followers, that what is the, until you have to smoke the cigar, until the second label, the first label, or until your...
This is in general or about this specific cigar?
Well, about the good cigars.
Okay, I normally smoke until I can take, keep in my hand.
A good cigar you smoke until the end.
Come diciamo in Italia, si fuma fino a bruciarsi le dita. So we smoke we burn our fingers.
This is a kind of cigar that
This
you
is an
smoke
interesting
at the end.
question that I got because of course many of us hear these people that are starting get into the cigar world. They ask, well, until when I go, I take out the bands and what I do and everything. I always say to my friends, smoke the cigars until it gives you pleasure. If you're feeling that it's too harsh or it's too hot in your mouth, in the end you can drop it, but sometimes the same cigar, one of those you're gonna smoke until it burns your hands and lips, and the other one maybe it doesn't feel so pleasurable, so you just leave it before. So you smoke until you have pleasure. Of course, I don't just recommend, to put these sticks and everything. When you do it at home, it's okay. But if you go to a cigar shop, it's not so polite.
Yeah.
These things, So anyway, smoke it until it's giving you pleasure.
Anche questa è una cosa interessante che ha detto Alexandre, cioè giustamente molti chiedono a chi fuma sigari, ma fino a dove devo fumarlo? Cioè quando mi devo fermare? Non c'è una regola. La regola è fumalo finché ti dà piacere. Se inizia a darti fastidio, lascialo lì. Quindi fumatelo finché vi dà piacere. E in questo caso speriamo che stia andando bene. Quindi Alexandre, what do you think about the cigar so far?
It's perfect. The first opportunity, as I said, was in the gala at the front of Partagas, but of course in the gala we're not was able to focus on the cigar, saluting everybody, talking to many people. So we're still talking here with some people in the table and all the followers that we have in here. But I'm having an amazing experience, It starts, I think, in my opinion, a little bit lighter than the usual Ramon Allones. But I didn't smoke it much of the cigar yet, because I'm talking too much, of course. But I think maybe all of you are in the same level. It started to give me some spiciness, a little bit of woody taste, and I think it's promising. I believe it's going to evolve a lot, and I love this small ring gauge because it concentrates a lot of the flavors that you get in your mouth. It's an important thing. You have to know how to smoke a small ring gauge cigars, because if you do the puffs without taking sometimes you overheat the cigar and you get some bitterness and harshness. So that's a way to smoke a cigar. Give it some time and leave them to evolve during the smoke.
So one of the things in the Toxidora world, when we see how they make the cigars, the fruit of the cigar sometimes does not have, because they cut it in the end, right? Because they don't cut it here, they basically take the cigar, finish it, and they cut it in the end. When you cut it, sometimes some part of the ligero, which is not extended to the fruit of the cigar, because they pack it in a way that it's all about how you keep it very well. Sometimes when cigar smokers, I don't call them cigar aficionados, because aficionados will understand this. Cigar smokers, when they try it, they are like, oh, this cigar is too harsh or it's not in the blend. So you wait for some time, smoke it slowly, it develops. So when we review and rate the cigar, if you wait for some time to reach the first half being built, like you said, the evolution, and that's when you understand that the cigar is coming out and that the blend is really showing up. So I believe that many of our friends around the world who smoke, they have to understand this little word, we call it patience.
Yes.
Of course, because it's important for them to understand that, hey, just wait, it took a lot of years and time and effort and hands to do this. So a little bit of patience can actually not harm you. So you smoke very slow, let it develop, evolve.
And you touch a very important point in my opinion, because what you're explaining about the construction of the cigar. And I have some contact with some of the rollers and visiting factories. We all do this a lot when we go to Cuba. And sometimes the roller puts a little bit of volado in the foot of the cigar, because the volado is the most combustible leaf in the construction of the cigar. So it starts a little bit, I mean, it used to start usually a little bit milder, because it doesn't have all the touch from the ligero, and a little bit more of volado because it helps in the lighting process of the cigar.
After 3 millimeters, they will develop a difference. You know,
Yeah.
the real structure of the cigar, the blend, they start to, like this, for example, now. Another question is, I like it. In the beginning, I didn't do it because for me, was starting 12 years ago. But now I do the retrohale in every cigar I try to taste. For me, it's very important to feel all the sensation in the back and on the nose, and how it develops the different kind of notes, and the spicy and the bitterness or the sweetness, everything. So it's important. And this cigar now is pepper. It's good. Now it's developed.
So Armando, I have a suggestion to you. So let's all of us together do a retrohaling demonstration to all our viewers.
And cough all together.
It's okay. Yeah.
Cough never comes. So let us all of us retrohale and give the best shot for this cigar blend.
Yeah.
So we see where it is, you know. So let's do this.
That, okay.
Well, the woody notes come very clearly.
Yeah, something very important about the retrohale is because you start to get different notes of aromas. That's very important. When you put this smoke through your nose, you get different profiles of aromas that, of course, will translate into flavors in your mouth.
Now you see the Ramon Allones peakiness.
Yeah.
So when you do this retrohaling process, you understand where the blend stands in a perspective of the review. And the retrohaling, you have to continuously do it in multiple intervals, and you see how it progresses. And I believe that many of our friends in the world, that sometimes they are not able to, because there are many we can do it easy, and retrohaling is a process that you have to develop as a skill, because you have it's like one of the things that you have to develop. It's not that everybody naturally come with the retrohaling and idea, so you have to work on it. So if you cough, if you have a little bit of uneasiness in your way of smoking, take it easy, you're gonna get there. Don't think that we all did it and we all coughed in the beginning and then we all did go the hard way. Now it's easy flowing. So I believe retrohaling is a very important part of any cigar, if you really wanted to understand the blend and review.
Questa parte è molto importante, sono venuti fuori un po' di argomenti un po' più tecnici. Abbiamo parlato di come è stato come si assemblano i sigari, del fatto che il ligero che normalmente è al centro, spesso i torsador mettono delle foglie di volado, che sono quelle della parte del piano fogliare più basso, per facilitare la combustione e l'accensione. Adesso invece stavamo affrontando l'annoso problema della la fumata retronasale, diciamo noi in italiano. Cioè la possibilità non solo di tenere in bocca il fumo e soffiarlo via, vi ricordate che ovviamente non va respirato, ma quello di farlo passare da dietro, quindi non per via ortonasale ma per via retronasale. Questo consente la possibilità di sentire molti più aromi con molta più chiarezza, ma come diceva Jasim poco fa, non è una tecnica facile, cioè soprattutto a chi non è abituato a fumare o chi inizia, far passare il fumo da dietro, da dentro la bocca e far uscire dal naso, le prime volte fa un po' tossire. Jasim, let's continue about what do you think?
With strongest.
Yeah, of course.
Strongest
If you
cigars.
remember 1 year ago, when we started this first experience with the live smoking, we spoke about the retrohale. We were smoking a Partagas, and you say clearly this is Partagas that you are able to retrohale. It is
Without
not
any uneasy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
because
yeah. It is not so common for a Partagas
Yes,
because it's a
it
strong
has a
start.
little bit of, I could not say age because age means that the
Okay.
box code and stuff. But that blend, that Vitola came out in the market a little bit late. It was Aliados, and it is a kind of cigar that thinner in its ring age, and it was well developed, and the flavor profile was like an aged tobacco. But there were mixed conversations about it the following day when we had the tasting. But it depends on the cigar.
Yeah.
When it comes to this cigar, and it's for many of the friends all over the Habanos world, is sometimes when we think about a thinner ring size cigar, everybody underestimates a thinner ring size cigar. I
That's a big
know
error.
I know size matters. We get it, okay? This is the kind of the thing that people always say. However, one of the most complex cigars to make is actually the thinner ring size cigars like Lancero and Fundadores and whatnot. So when you have a thinner ring size cigar, I'm not saying that this is thinner, this is 42, it's in the thin to the medium, let's call it the medium ring gauge cigar. To create a blend which is perfect, consistent, blendful, and memorable, because this is a cigar that reconnects with a country. It's not limited to a standard production that, okay, next year we're going to do better. Because this is coming out with a particular blend for that release, and then once it is over, it's over. It's like more limited than a limited edition. Let's put it that way. If you look into a Reserva, Grand Reserva, you're talking about 75,000 pieces. This is 100,000 pieces. I believe in your case, this is approximately 112.
This is 4,500.
4,500 boxes. I believe it's more than
400,000.
100,000, so it's 112,500. I'm good in math. So yeah, I think it's 12,000, something like that. 112,500 pieces, so it's a little bit more than 100,000. As for the blend, I believe that it has the complete DNA of Ramon in a classical way. So if you look into the thicker ring gauge cigars of Ramon, slightly thicker than this is the Ramon I have especially selected being Robusto. But what I really enjoying right now is a day before, me and Alexandre and Armando, you guys were not there. We had the tastings of the Ramon Island Superiors in the morning.
Yeah.
La Casa della Habana.
La Casa della Habana. And that was a Corona Gorda.
Yeah.
It's a 46. It reminds me a lot about it, but then there is a difference there is no comparison in cigar world. However, I'm trying to reconnect with the Ramon Iones blend as it is. This is so smoother and so elegantly put together as a blend.
It's a round.
It's round, it's flavorful,
It's very balanced.
It's balanced.
I believe
It's,
it's very balanced.
Sometimes when we talk about it in social media, people are like, every time you guys talk, everything is good for you. Do you have something bad in the cigar? They said, are they paying you that you say that everything has to be good? And it's not true, guys. The reality is that the cigars what we're smoking is so good.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah,
This is very balanced. This is very balanced.
Yes, how many years have these cigars settled? That's a good year for the cigars settle down and be around all the cigars on the yard. You know that sometimes, of course, the people expect that the cigars they pull out from the box, recently put on the shelf of the stores, could be perfect, but sometimes it doesn't. Need some time to rest because travel around the world, travel from Cuba to Europe, so all that need time to rest, need time to settle down to the weather, to all this change of pressure and everything. So for me, I always recommend to set the cigar apart for a time, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and then try one, and you need more time, 1 year, 2 years, and then the cigar will be perfect for your enjoyment. If the cigar is well rotted and also have a good fermentation, that also is different side. Maybe one cigar could be a little bit rushed, but for me the 99% is very good and in a good condition.
Armando, that pushed me to ask you a question.
Just before the question,
Okay.
because I was thinking about something that you said before. I don't want to let it to pass too much. And we were talking about the flavor profile of the Allones, right? You were saying just that you got pretty much what the Allones delivers. And this is something interesting to bring about the history of the original editions, because it was a program created by Habanos to develop some brands that were not so well recognized in other countries. Because if you're going to do something about Coimbra, Montecristo, Partagas,
Everybody knows.
I mean, the global brands, everybody knows the brands already. So this program was very important because it started to promote brands that wasn't usually the first choice or the
I love
well-known.
Italians, la espressione.
Yes.
In the standard production.
And so it was very interesting because it's a way to promote amazing, because Cuba has 27 brands in the portfolio, amazing brands, and many of people just know 6, 7, 10.
Yeah.
It's a way for you to get an interest to a brand that you're not used to smoke. So right now Ramon is very popular, you all know that. Especially one of the favorite regional editions from many countries. It is probably one of the most
In our part of the world, we have
repeated
the Middle East love Ramon Allones.
Ramon Allones. And another interesting point that I would like to ask regarding this regional edition series as well is that Habanos allows the importer to do some special touches.
Tweaks and patches.
in the taste of the blend of the cigar.
Interesting.
And one thing is important, it's just touches. You cannot do a Habanos that it's a strong profile cigar in the mild cigar, because it would be good for promoting the brand.
Within the portfolio.
Within the flavor, the strange profile of the brand, the importer are allowed to do some special touches just to adequate a little bit to the market and what they are proposing. So it's a very interesting information. Many of you maybe didn't have it.
Questo non me lo
Alexandre being in the
three choice they import.
They brought you three choices.
Yes.
And they can choose.
Yeah, I can choose it. Yeah.
So you have
And sometimes you can do another. Let's go a little bit.
So you have three tasting prototypes.
Yes.
So you have prototypes being tasted. Did you enjoy the prototypes which was brought for this Ramon Allones cigar? Did you try it in the beginning?
Yeah.
You tasted all the three?
No.
No.
Okay. So who people have tasted it from the edema?
Yeah, probably it's Stefano Minoi.
Okay.
I believe
commercial
Stefano
director,
Minoi,
yeah.
and I don't remember at the time he was there, maybe
I don't know.
just Yanis, maybe.
Oh, probably Yanis when he was here.
Sure, Stefano Minoi.
So the next time, make sure that in the next
Vincenzi.
prototype, make sure you put your names in, so you're gonna taste your.
Put a good words for us.
Yeah.
You're already in good words. We are live, and more than this.
If you want to smoke well, you have a good idea.
I can tell you, I had the opportunity to be in the tasting panel of one of the. Of course, my followers know, but many of some of followers we have in common, but some doesn't know. I write for Cigar Journal magazine, so I travel all over the world, doing events and everything. And I was invited by Phoenician when they were doing the 40th anniversary. That is, we all know that. Italian regionals and some Phoenician regionals are for me
unexceptional.
And especially the Ramon Allones, because the market they
love
the
the
brand,
yes.
And one of the Ramon Allones that was very historical was the 30th anniversary of Seguiteci. It became kind of a classic one, and everybody saw.
It was a benchmark for the region.
Yes.
And did you feel?
And then I was invited because I was writing about an article for Cigar Journal at the time about regionals. And was invited by Felicia to go to Havana to taste the final blends. So the ones that I tasted was just two, because they already had discarded one. And the two ones, it's interesting because it was a first time experience, but an amazing experience, because at the same time that they were so similar, they were so different. Because they kind of started a little bit similar and they were evolving differently, and we did all the process that just like all the panel tastings in Cuba, you didn't know which cigar we were smoking, they had numbers, so you don't have any idea, and they give you the first cigar to you, and some people on the table, because we don't even get the first cigar, right, you know. Some people got the number 2 and some people got the number 1 because they have different numbers. You cannot figure what to put because nothing that would be talking to each other and saying, oh, what are you feeling, what you're feeling. Because maybe the guy by your side is smoking the other blend. You know? So that's something that you could really concentrate. So it was amazing.
Cuba being Cuba, very mythical and secretive.
And people sometimes, you know, overlook this and I say, they don't look, they don't see the men that have in the cigar world, you know, they are the benchmark, you know, cannot tell everything, you know. No, I mean, some people voted for one, some people voted for the others, but in the end, I mean, I thought that it was my favorite blend, but as I told you, if I didn't have that one and smoke the other one, I would love the other one. Yeah. But in the end, it's just small, I mean, touches that you get the difference. Anyway, the cigar came out in the market, amazing cigar, and that's why regional editions are so amazing.
That's very interesting.
So when you do the tasting for prototypes, do you parallel taste, or you do tasting of one cigar to another, or you smoke half of it, you leave it, and then you leave up the other one? How does the process work?
The process will
it's for our viewers to understand. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted all our friends.
At that time, you know, I smoked the whole cigar. I mean, because you have to check the evolution, you know. Maybe just, I mean, of course, I smoked the whole cigar, but not burning my fingers. But I had the experience to go through these 3 moments of the cigar, especially because it's a larger cigar, and it was a nice experience. So after that, we smoked the other one. Of course, we were only drinking water. Anyone that would like to drink tea or to something to clean the palate would be allowed, but just for nothing to interfere in the real perceptions that you get in the cigars. It's very important. If you're trying a blend, if you're evaluating a cigar as a contest that our friends from Edition won the World Challenge, you cannot be pairing the cigar with anything, otherwise you're gonna change the flavor.
But it was hard for us because there are many people looking at us with the jury just in front. It's not so easy.
Yeah. This is very important also. You know? It's very different to smoke a cigar
but
just for
it's
pleasure.
It's an interesting exercise to taste. It's a blind taste.
Yeah.
And we normally recommend it to all the smokers, all the lovers, because it changes your feelings about the cigar.
Yeah.
Sometimes the suggestion adjusted the look of the cigar. It can suggest the feeling that is coming from the cigar.
Because you know already, you know, we're gonna pick up any brand, Ramon or Partagas, whatever, you know what to expect of the cigar. But it's something I always recommend to the cigar clubs that I've been part of in the classes that I do, you know. Do in the cigar club, and of course, one of the guys has to know because he's the one that is going to prepare the cigar. But do blind tastings. It's amazing because you're much more focused. This is where you really, what is this?
Yeah.
So you're eager to find all the profiles. So that's amazing.
So we have a proposal to the Italian team here. Next time we do the blind tasting.
That's the idea. Guys, remember, 1 year from now, we meet here and we smoke a mysterious cigar.
Imagine you bring
it's a rare job.
You bring without the jars and the boxes. You bring a Noellas from Armando as well as this one.
Yeah.
Of course, there is a difference in the size, but then in that little minority of size differences, then you're confused, right?
Of
and
course.
That's the real thing will come out there in terms of the flavor, in terms of the measurements. I was about to ask a question to Armando because this is a very important topic recently we discussed, and I don't get the opportunity to talk to you every day other than social media, so I'm taking advantage of this. And so when we have a new cigar come to the market, we often say that you leave it aside for 6 months, 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years. But how is your experience in Madrid, in Spain in general, also all over the world, but then you travel? How do you feel that a cigar lover, a cigar aficionado, they like to age it 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or they like to try it from the first box coming your shelf? What is your experience on this? Your recommendation is something else.
Yeah,
I'm talking about how they.
This is two parts because, as you say, it's different between the kind of smoker they're looking for the cigars on the shop. When they arrive, I develop 5 types of smokers in my opinion. that is the beginner, also is the aficionado, also is the connoisseur, and then also like you, if you go there, you know what you're going to pick up, and you are going to be looking for more stuff than these people, no? When you have different profile, the general part of the smokers, they want to grab the cigar and smoke right away, because they pick the cigars for the afternoon, for celebrating, for the bulls, for the football game, for have a good afternoon. So that's the general smoker, go and pick up the cigar, and of course they want to smoke right away. So it is the responsibility of the retail of the shop to have the best cigars in the shelf or in the box. So if you have the best cigars, that's 1, 2, 3 pieces they want to share with the friends. That will be for me ready to smoke cigar. That's why you have to have the good humidity, good temperature. So not to have resting the cigar in any place. It's just grab the cigar, cut a light, and then will be.
So you get a box of cigar from Tabacalera.
Yeah.
Let's say that you're getting a Cupidos, and you open the box on the shelf, because also it's a very important part is to promote it. A product come in the market, you have to be presenting that product in your region, in your shop. So they tend to take it.
Yeah.
So we don't have the time for them to rest it.
No.
And they're gonna smoke it.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, it will be a different perspective if you let them smoke it after a couple of weeks, or it will be the same profile when you smoke it directly?
Well, it's very. I don't want to get too wet on this, because sometimes you have a different kind of material in each box. You know how work the factory is, so it's all very different when you are there and you visit, because they are doing a very good job. But also on this, you have a mix of a lot of material around the factories in Cuba. So when you get that, you have very good material from very good farmers, but also you have mixed another one that is not in the high quality level on this premium that need a little bit more resting.
You're opening a controversial subject here. So you are trying to say that there are different quality in the blend.
No, it's not the blend. It's also I believe it's not the blend, because
Not the blend,
right.
the boxes.
Yeah, the boxes. You can get the different, but that's also a good point of view from the fake cigars in Cuba. When I met in the Danilo told me something very interesting that I didn't realize before. That was when you see a box completely even with all the 3 layers of the cigars exactly the same, with everything very perfect. Be aware of that, because in the factory it doesn't work that way. Because there are one people do the binder, other people put the rubber, different people put, and then you grab by color, and there's 60 colors. So any cigar will be the same, because there is a lot of rollers in the factory. So when you get the box, it will be a box of different
multiple different kinds.
And then when you put the escaparate, also get mixed. So when you get mixed all of that, you can have a box with different kind of rollers, different kind of materials, because it's all from Partagas. So you can have production for one box. You don't got the production, because I believe sometimes the people that smoke cigars believe that this is a machine made, and it's like a fritters or something like that you put something in the blend and
it has to be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
This will be for this box, and this will be for this box. No, you get a lot of material, you get a lot of workers, you get a lot of mixers. So
no, but there are no changes. The blend is the blend.
The blend is the blend.
Yeah.
The material is the one that could be a little bit more time. Need a little bit more time to.
So some needs, in your opinion, some require a little bit more time than the other. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but I believe it's something about time now, because in the past you have to stay with the material in the escaparate more time, because the demand wasn't that high than in this time, and now it's so high that the natural time of resting is not the same. It's complementing, but they try to do it in the process, because in the other way you don't get the cigar in 4 years.
But I believe that, okay, this is interesting. So there was a time that Alexandre can get in, probably you have more notes on this. I have been told that back at the time, Habanos had the period that they were making a lot of cigars, which basically was more than 120 million cigars a year. Let's put it more than 100. So they were rolling faster at that time, back in the time, not recently.
Yeah.
Then things have changed. So one thing, what makes me fascinated about Habanos, today there is a lot of demand, which is exceptionally high than any of these last 2 decades. And still, they are not rushing the process. So I wanted to contradict that part of rushing the process. If they're rushing the process, we will have more cigars. So luckily for us, I will put it this way, luckily for us, they are not rushing, because if they are rushing, we will never have a problem in any of the market where we don't have cigars. But I believe that they are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
The demand is there, but then we're going to do it the right way or nothing.
Yeah.
So I believe that, I think you can put your thoughts on it, because you have been in the industry for more than I do.
Yeah.
So I believe that you've been part of many vintage tastings and whatnot. So probably today, with the high demand and super expectations, Habanos is still doing what they could do to maintain the quality in the utmost level. Of course, there are differences, like Armando says, because you may have a difference from one product to another. The hands are different, you know. The hands are different, but not the blend, not the overall profile of that cigar. Otherwise, we all will have a different profile in our hands. But this is not the case.
This is interesting because, I mean, first of all, when people talk about cigars, it's a subject that I would like not to go too deep.
Today,
because, but I will just give a point, you know, that it's very important, because you can do a live, I mean, a 4 hours live talking about this, because you have
all 3 days.
It's a rich subject.
We are a very slow smoker. So.
But one thing that I would like to say is that I had recently a live with some people that not just from the Cuban market, from the other places, and they got a little bit pissed with me, because I mean, I don't receive money from Habanos. Nothing. I never received a cent from Habanos. I never received a cent from any other company in any other country, because the day I start to receive a cent, my opinion doesn't have value.
Yes.
Because my opinion is paid. I will never sell my opinion, because I worked a lot to have my respect in the industry, so I'll never sell my opinion. You know, I make my money in different ways, you know, in courses, in other things, writing about cigars and everything, not charging for this. You know, I mean, charging for giving opinions or saying one cigar. But one guy in the industry, one guy in the industry, I had a live recently, and he was kind of a little pissed off, because I said, maybe you're not smoking that enough Cuban cigars, because the quality of the Cuban cigars improved a lot. We know that some years they had some issues, because they have a lot of, I mean, sometimes, you know, you have this lack of material, but due to hurricanes and a lot of stuff, but I can tell you recently, and I smoke cigars from, although I have some preference that I mean, most of you know, I don't smoke cigars, just Cuban cigars, because I write about cigars, and I have a cigar shop in my city, so I sell cigars from many other origins, so I have to talk about all the cigars, so I have to understand all the cigars, and I smoke different origins. And I can tell you one thing that I realized, that of course there's no study about it, but I have been smoking much more non-Cuban cigars with construction issues, fermentation issues, burning issues that usually related to fermentation sometimes of constructions, if RIs, than Cuban cigars. And the guy wasn't that happy. He would start to be some aggressive, with just like some of these guys get a little bit aggressive when you talk something, because they are free of speech, as you agree with them, you know. And I tell you, the Cuban cigars improved a lot, as you told. The production is smaller right now. They have a lot of demand, and they are not rushing the production. So I believe people that are starting to smoke them right now are getting, I'm not saying better cigar than you used to get, because things change, you know. You have to respect, you know, you have to respect this. But they are getting great cigars, I mean, by the construction-wise point of view, than you used to have.
Look at this way, logically, in the market there are so many fake cigars today. It was there yesterday, but now it's extremely high. If a fake industry does not have an organizational perspective, don't have financial background, does not have any methodology or history, they're able to put more cigars than Habanos, let's say, in some markets, which means it's not a difficult job to Habanos to just make many cigars as much as they want. It's not that complicated.
We are opening a lot of topics, guys.
This is what our
And you know that Francesco Minetti is coming here.
Believe it or not, this is what makes social media powerful.
Yeah.
This is what
Yes.
people love to hear.
Yeah.
This is what the ideology behind this beautiful cigar lifestyle and cigar industry.
We have to
People love
ask
hear.
more time for the next year.
Last time also we did the same, but we
The
never got
same.
the time.
Sorry.
We need
I
2
have to
hours.
It's better to finish.
almost close the video.
Just talking a little about the cigar.
Assolutamente. Fra 20 minuti inizia una degustazione ufficiale in una sala qui sotto e loro sono tutti chiamati come protagonisti, soprattutto Alexandre che è il traduttore ufficiale, quindi as a translator you have to go in a few minutes, but before we close the video we open a lot of topics, interesting topics and many things to say about it from the edge of the cigar, so the difference. I was looking at the cigar or in general, what do you think about regional edition? If, as Alexandre said, they are so typical for the brand, something different from the limited edition or something like that. There are a lot of topics.
We learned a lot today.
Yeah, of course.
From the
As always,
prototypes to
as
the
always.
tastings to
That was an interesting story.
We really know that
And
how
a
the
nice
process
experience
works and
you share with us. But before we close and we salute all our friends, I want to ask you your final, if you have some final.
Final considerations,
Yeah,
I'll have my
yeah.
final one with 30 minutes.
Okay, go. Ready for the dinner.
We are all very slow
Slow.
smokers.
Because
Very
this is
slow
the
No,
perfect
I-
way
Yes,
to smoke a cigar.
I'm a little
Enjoy
fast
together. Yeah.
because with the beautiful conversation you tend to puff faster. But my cigar is never hot. I always hold it like this.
Okay.
So as for me, that I'm in the final third. I just started the last part of the cigar. It's an amazing cigar which is well-rounded effect. It has a spiciness in the beginning which was slightly high-end spice, meaning it was spicy in words of, hot. Spicy and hot is two different things. So it was spicy in the beginning, and now it is peppery around.
Yeah.
It is very smooth, nutty, and it's one of the things that amuses me. The way the jar is being kept, this cigar, so well in the perfect preservation methodology. Being Italians love the jar. Almost
We are huge collectors.
Almost all the world of the Italian cigar collectors have jar collections, and it's amazing. So I believe that the cigars are well maintained, well kept. A Noellas jar, perfect, well-rounded effect on the cigar. Super nuttiness. The creaminess of the cigar is something unbelievable. You can see the creaminess of the smoke lingering around us. I know that we can't see it because somebody has to come from outside and see it. You'll see that we have a beautiful space around like a paradise.
Yeah.
So that's it for me. And the maestro Armando, what do you think?
Oh, I believe the cigar, I smoke, I believe, the right way because I speak Giulio. I smoke too fast, I believe, but for me...
No, I'm with you. You see, we are on the same
that
page.
part. But it's what you say, it's pepper now, completely rounded mouth, and I feel in the tongue and the teeth, in the punta. I don't know how to say it.
It's the same one.
The tongue, yeah. So it's very amazing. Also the blend is very good. I like how you kept on this original edition the character of Ramon Allones. It's one of my favorite brands. I love it, especially Select. For me, it's one of the daily cigars.
Probably one of the best
You have to maintain in your humidor because it's perfect for when you want to have a character cigar and you want to have a good tobacco. Sometimes the tobacco flavor is what we miss. And you have tobacco, you have wood, and you have pepper, and you have everything. So it's good. For me, it's amazing.
Yeah, because yesterday night I smoked the Ramon Allones special selected. So
Nice cigar.
very nice.
So Alexandre.
Yeah. Well, my final considerations. I think nobody will invite me more because I talk too much. Sometimes you just have to be, stop. The signs. But anyway, it's good to share the experience and amazing opportunity that we are having here, especially with this panel of experts. And Armando, the champions of the licensing team, and my friend Jasim, that gives a lot of good information good content over the web. So it's interesting, you know, especially talk about the Italian regionals as we are smoking. This one is amazing. I think the Italian market is very privileged because I don't know why, you know, you always get something special.
It's the Italian way.
Yeah,
It's the Italian way.
exactly. Because it's interesting because I mean, you talk about maybe you have right now many regional editions, and they are kind of special in some way, you know, because they were prepared for the market. There is a limited production and everything. But one thing that I like about the Italian regionals is they always take a lot of care, especially with the bands, bringing brands that are not active, just like the L'Exception.
We are a small market,
yes.
but I believe that we are
and
Italian also.
Yeah, and then you have these jars and you have these things. So I think with all that we can get from all the regional editions around the world, and Italy is very privileged because you get all of this, but you put a little Italian touch over it with the special bands, special jars, special packaging, and it's that's why I think you always should. So Italian edition is one of the I'll always try to go for when I'm looking for regional editions.
Fantastic, great. Purtroppo ai nostri amici in diretta non possiamo mostrare che cosa abbiamo avuto di fronte fino adesso. I'm saying that sadly we can't show anymore what was just in front of us.
Speaking about Italian way,
yeah, the Italian way, the pleasure was one of the sun. Yeah, the sun, of course.
Why we were so happy,
the nature.
It's the sun.
Andiamo a chiudere questa bellissima esperienza, spero che vi sia piaciuta, che ci abbiate seguito. Siamo qui tra...
What do you think
Beh sì,
about this?
io farei solo una piccola annotazione. E con Giulio, come dicevamo all'inizio, abbiamo avuto modo di fumarlo all'uscita e quindi
il nostro video c'è.
Il nostro video c'è, ne riparleremo in un prossimo video. È bello ed è interessante notare l'evoluzione di un sigaro negli anni. So, through the years, how will this cigar change? Since the first one we smoked was very good, but not like this. Now it's more rounded.
It's very fresh.
Yeah, of course. The woody notes, cioè la nota di legno è costante dall'inizio alla fine. Poi è vero c'è questa nota speziata molto interessante.
And I tasted something of balsamic also.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Chiudiamo questo video con un saluto ai nostri graditissimi ospiti, i nostri amici, esperti, influencer, insomma nel mondo del sigaro loro sono dei professionisti, noi siamo solo degli aficionados e dei fumatori.
And we were very lucky because we smoked together here in Matelica, but also many times in La Havana. That is special also. This is another topic, no?
Yeah.
How a cigar change
from place to place. Yeah,
or in La Havana. This is very interesting.
Troppi.
But
Too many topics.
Too many
topics. We need
time.
more time for the next time. So I want to thank you everyone, starting from my teammate Giulio from Team L'Exception, Jasim from interesting is from we come from all over the world. Yeah, Dubai, Brazil,
three continents.
Three different continents. In questo tavolo ci sono tre continenti. E quindi vogliamo salutare tutti i nostri amici, Jasim, Alexandre, Armando, grazie mille. Grazie. Thank you so much. It was very fun and very interesting. Thank you.
And now we go on smoking this.
And now we continue with the cigar.
Bye,
ciao,
bye.
ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
And I would like to, the followers that was sending questions, unfortunately we didn't have the opportunity